Hey, everybody, welcome to the Shed Show. I'm your host, Ryan Shed. This is my co host, Ian Sherman.
Ian,
And
he's the Mike Sherman. What's up, player?
I'm not going to live that one down, am I?
Oh.
But when we said 7:30 tonight, we meant 8. Sorry about that.
Ian's time. 7, 8. I can't count. 2 plus 2, Jello.
Yeah,
It's all there.
hopefully, I fixed the problem. It was actually on my end, so yeah. But we're back, and that's all that matters.
Just spill all the tea. Let's go. Let's jump in.
That's what makes the show good. We don't hide things. We just hey.
I don't know, man. I want to play last episode where you blamed everybody but your shit. All right.
Yeah. That's the bad thing about having previous episodes right there. And a co-host with a long memory. Dick.
I'll be here all night.
Just getting warmed up. So
Nancy Mace sucks.
Yes, Nancy Mace sucks. She's a hypocrite. And I'm just kind of tired of all this. So yeah, I guess there's no point in going through the beginning of the stuff. Let's just get right into it.
Here's the thing that I find interesting. If everybody can hear me, Hunter Biden did a master class of showing up, didn't say a goddamn word, to an event that was literally about how, dog walking him is what this pretty much was going to be set up for. Nancy Mace immediately red meat for her her constituents, whoever the fuck, whoever she's making out with, or whatever private parties, she's doing it for them, right?
Don't give away everything.
Oh, I didn't know I was giving away secrets. So here's the thing about Nancy. We know she's a hypocrite. We know that she's trying to do the dance, but she's not crafty at all. She's not. She is,
but left feet. But before we get into it, let's let everybody see the dance before we talk about it. So let's show the video of Nancy Grace. This is what she had to say during and again, to give some context to anybody who may not have seen it. This is the Hunter Biden contempt hearing to see if they would hold him in contempt for the subpoena that they had issued that he didn't show up for, even though he showed up outside and just told them it was going to be his way, and they don't like that. So here's what Nancy Mace had to say to get the vibe going for the hearing.
First question is, who bribed Hunter Biden to be here today? That's my first question. Second question, you are the epitome of white privilege, coming into the Oversight Committee, spitting in our face, ignoring a congressional subpoena to be deposed. What are you afraid of? You have no balls to come up here and...
Mr. Chairman, point of inquiry.
Mr. Chairman,
if the gentle lady wants to hear from Hunter Biden, we can hear from him right now, Mr. Chairman. Let's take a vote and hear from Hunter Biden. What are you afraid of?
Hold on.
Order.
Are women allowed to speak in here or no? Are women allowed to speak in here or no? Could you keep interrupting me?
I find a couple things of this. A, she's trying to use critical race theory against Hunter Biden.
Yes.
B, I love how she's going to the woman card, where it's like all the things that you see Republicans against, being the gender identity and all this other stuff, and trying to be like Moskowitz is going to be machismo. I speak over women, whatever. No, he actually asked the head of the committee for a second, which is proper protocol. And you'll notice if you watch the entire hearing, you'll notice other people do the same exact thing, and he gives them the call. He's like, one moment, blah, blah, please, you're seen. You have the floor. And it's interesting that in this, when he's immediately objected to jump in, how they played that out. But it's priceless to watch this unfold.
Yeah. It's it's just interesting to me because I'm going to talk about her hypocrisy in another way. Besides the fact that it's ridiculous what she says, and saying that he has no balls while the man is literally sitting in the freaking gallery is about the dumbest thing that I've ever heard in my life. Like, you're sitting there looking the man in his eyes and saying, you don't have the balls. Bitch, I'm sitting right here staring in your face.
I mean, you just don't crime to me,
dude. I'm telling you. And what it is,
you're a white man, white privilege. It's like, what? Yeah,
the white woman says what? But they don't want to give Hunter Biden the platform, the public platform, because they know it's going to go even worse than this went for them.
Which I find interesting is, and it's the way you worded it before you played the clip. You said that Hunter wanted to do it on his terms.
Yep.
I don't think it's really he wants to do it on his terms. He's like, no, I just don't trust you behind closed doors. Let's do this out in the open and be as transparent as possible. And the thing about these subpoenas, you're allowed to work with them to pick how you want to go about it.
Yeah, like the terms, right?
You can pick your terms. This is not, we're doing it this way, and if you don't show up, you're in contempt. Criminal contempt, by the way. Criminal contempt. Did it even play the clip where she says he needs to be in jail right now?
The end of it, she said that. Yeah, sorry.
It's priceless, and like the extreme that they're willing to go.
Yeah, it is. And, I'm just going to play this because I think it speaks to the hypocrisy of the conservative, clean image that Nancy Mace likes to portray. And it just really speaks to the hypocrisy of the conservative agenda that she consistently stands up for while simultaneously doing this while it's recorded. Damn it. See, I'm going to get this one of these days. I got all the other videos, though. Don't worry. But anyway, that's a video of Nancy Mace in 2017 playing a drinking game and like kissing, spitting the liquor in another girl's mouth. It's it's really interesting. It's interesting what these conservative politicians think that they are allowed to do while simultaneously standing on their soapbox, pointing at the rest of us, calling us every name in the book and accusing us of everything while you're doing the exact same thing behind closed doors that the rest of us are doing.
I'm going to start calling her and Moms for Liberty to sum up the Republican conservative movement that is into chasing snatch as Leave It to Beaver. Well, I'm just going to call him Leave It to Beaver.
Was it you that sent me the one today that she got busted for?
Oh, Moms for Liberty that got caught stealing?
From Target, like almost $1,000
She was liberating those goods. Okay?
Liberating those.
I'm sorry. I'll be here all night.
This motherfucker said like, liberating those goods.
So I'm gonna call these conservative hoochies Leave It to Beaver. That's who they are. That's who they are to me.
That's funny.
That's who they are.
Hey guys, we're here in the comments too, so we love to hear from you guys in the comments. So please.
I want all the one-liners. I want all the best, worst dad jokes on this situation, this topic.
Oh my Lord!
Immediately.
So I want to go into Marjorie Taylor Greene's videos. I thought that, what was it? Yeah, Jasmine Crockett's video was really good, but we're gonna play that after Marjorie Taylor Greene. So here's Hunter Biden responding to the minute that Marjorie Taylor Greene started running her mouth.
And excuse me, Hunter. Apparently, you're afraid of my words.
Whoa. Here goes. Oh.
I like to reclaim my time, Mr. Chairman.
Burst their bubble. Wow, that's too bad.
I think it's clear and obvious for everyone watching this hearing today that Hunter Biden is terrified of strong conservative Republican women because he can't even face my words as I was about to speak to him. What a coward.
Again, calling this man a coward because he's walking out of your ass. And what do you choose to do with your time, Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Point of parliamentary
showing proof of Mann Act violations. Democrats should not be offended by pictures that black out.
Have I been recognized?
They should be offended by
point of parliamentary
human trafficking.
Mr. Chairman,
state your point.
Thank you kindly, Mr. Chairman. On July 26th, I sent you a letter about the last time this happened.
So what she did was she just did what she did the first time, and this time blacked out the goody parts. So that's what you wanted that man to sit around and watch?
I was gonna drink all that tea. All right. I am here for the fuckery.
Dude, what is going on? So let's get to let's get to the people that actually sit in the room. But I love that, by the way.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the people that were in the room that didn't hesitate to use their microphone to respond to these clowns. Because, like I said, Jasmine Crockett she's a star. I can't wait to see what she does.
She's a rising star.
She really is, man. Like she's a breath of fresh air in that house, because it's like we need, not saying that she's the only one, there's others, but but we need more.
But keep in mind, she's a freshman.
She's
she really
is killing it.
Carved a lane for herself.
Killing it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, she actually just buried her mentor the other day. So
I'm so sorry to hear that.
They apparently were very close. So I'm gonna play her.
Tell you why nobody wants to talk to y'all behind closed doors, because y'all lie. That's just the bottom line. You have done it thus far in this investigation. You have done it this far as it relates to this committee. In every single hearing, y'all spin. I don't know how y'all are still standing right now, because you should be quite dizzy from all the spinning that you're constantly doing when it comes to spinning the truth. You talk about free and fair elections, but you back a guy who we know tried to steal the election. And this isn't about what Democrats have to say. Let me remind you, for those of you that don't know how the justice system works, it's not a matter of the president went in and indicted Trump, but we are talking about grand juries. Grand juries are comprised of American citizens, and the people that have entered pleas of guilty that will be flipping on your leader in a minute, they are Republicans. I do want to point that out. And half of them were Republicans that were handpicked by Donald Trump himself. So, to be clear, whatever happens to your little leader, it's going to be because of the actions that he took. So you can talk all you want to about how January 6th was nonsense, but all of y'all were running at that time. Y'all were grabbing y'all's gas masks, and y'all were running to your offices because you didn't know if they were coming to kill you. You should have cared that somebody was there to protect you, but instead you want to play games because you found out that it was your leader that decided that he wanted to propagate an insurrection on our country. So don't tell me that you care about the Constitution, because you don't. All you care about is Trump getting reelected, and I'll yield the last of my time to my leader.
Thank you very much.
I feel like that was some slam poetry, man.
Dude.
Yeah, she's poetic.
She is, but what makes her very powerful is, I think she's a lot like me. She doesn't, of course she kind of preps her talking points, but what makes her great is she just goes. Like she's not reading off a paper. She's just letting them have it. And that's what makes it so like, oh, I want to watch this, because she's just like, yep, I'm going to tell you from my heart, from my chest, from my chest. Yeah. But not over practiced. And that's what makes her, I think, a little more powerful than others.
I think the rawness of her is what stands out.
Yep.
But it's piercing. It's not that it's just like this rage it's very focused. It's very focused.
It is. Something I put on here to be clear, no one should be excited about a Trump versus Biden replay. There's a lot of truth to that. It is.
Nobody want to see two grumpy old men.
But not only that, like, no. Why would you put Trump up against a guy he already lost against? Like, to me,
well, that's a narcissist, so there's no putting.
But the whole party is allowing this to happen. Like, one man can't say, "Well, fuck all of you, I'm going to run for president." Like, he's been enabled by these people.
You can, if you have a whole bunch of shit on your party.
Well, again, I don't care what the cause of it is, which clearly that's some of it, because these people flip so damn fast. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not horribly excited about it, but if it's between the two of them, it's Biden all day, every day. So,
well, I have an issue with the left for really trying to run with this genocide Joe, and I'm like, you guys are fucking trash.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I
had a guy in my comments.
It is not his fault. It's not his fucking fault for what is going on in the Middle East. He is the American president. Regardless of that, he is literally in bed with an ally that is a democracy.
Yeah.
Amongst all of that in the Middle East, that is not a democracy. He stands with democracies, plain and simple. It is our stronghold. It is a fortified base who we've been in bed with since its birth, its inception. Yeah. We would not give up our footing in the Middle East because of what? So calling him Genocide Joe, I'm just like, you guys, you know what? At this point, honestly, Ryan, I don't give a fuck. Let Joe lose. Let Trump be in power. Guess what's going to happen? They're going to support fucking Israel. It is what it is at that point. Republicans are more hawkish on a war than Joe is.
Yeah.
And these clowns do not get that.
No, and I like what you said about the Democrats, because they're out there. I have a guy that I was in the military, or I went to boot camp with, and he follows me on TikTok, and he comments on a lot of my stuff. And he's like, no, Joe lost me with this whole Israel thing. I'm like, dude, all I'm going to say about it is one issue voting is a horrible freaking idea.
You're elementary.
Like if you're literally gonna say, well, I'm not gonna vote for Joe because of Israel, and you're gonna overlook all the domestic shit, that's the dumbest thing I've ever fucking heard. You will be the reason that we end up in some kind of weird American dictatorship, because that's what this fucker wants.
And that's what's so interesting about this whole context of it being these two old men, and it is two fucking old men. And this is the part where I'm asking Generation Gen X, where the fuck are you at? When are you stepping up to bat? Or are we just going to go baby boomer to millennial? When do you want to take a lead in this country, in this experiment called America? Because I feel like a whole generation of boomers need to retire. Full stop. Full stop. That's across the board.
We hear you. We're trying to film a show. Damn.
I want to make sure that delay is still going. Where's that delay at? That echo. But it's one of those things where I wonder if Gen X is going to get in the game, because they're such an interesting generation.
Yeah.
And just who they are. The silent generation is what their nickname, their tag is. And it's like, I really wonder what's going to happen with them when they become, they won't become the majority, because millennials are now outvoting the boomers. Yep. And there's more millennials than there are Gen X. So it's really quite interesting. And then Gen Z, of course, is now behind us, and they're coming up. And there's going to be a lot more of them.
That's going to be. And just imagine if it, God forbid, if it does swing as extreme as Trump getting elected again. Imagine what Gen Z is going to do. The uprising will be insane.
You
don't think?
No, I don't even want to think about it.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? I don't even want to think about how, because looking at what they're doing right now, and here's the thing, they get their information from all the fucking weirdest places. Okay.
TikTok is their news.
You know what I'm saying? They're literally no, I saw it on this TikTok, and this is what from the river to the sea means. And it's okay, but did you do any research yourself? Did you look into it? I get, if you get something from somewhere, I get that. But did you actually take the time to deep dive? You and I have private conversations that never need to be shared with anybody, because it's you and I thinking out loud, and it's in a place where you can actually just say whatever you're thinking and really try to hear it out loud for the first time.
And then let it marinate afterwards. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it not being right there in your face for the world to see.
Forever.
And I always go back to that with you and I, of being in high school, and it not being we had Facebook or TikTok or any of that shit, because we could make our mistakes privately or locally, where that shit doesn't follow you forever. It's now it's I feel for these kids, because that shit is
if it's everywhere. On tape, it's there forever.
Just like the last show.
It went just like Nancy Mace that I was trying to share. But before we move, speaking of Nancy Mace, before we move on from the Hunter contempt, because this video is so good, and this is the messaging that I want Democrats and liberals to carry until November 2024 is done, in the books, and through. This is the messaging that I think we need to bring.
Chairman, you have said multiple times that this is not about Hunter. It's about Joe Biden. And even this morning on Mornings with Maria, she asked another simple question, the question you have been asked multiple times, which is, do you have evidence to impeach the President of the United States? Before, you said, I hope so. Today, you said, I think so. And the answer is, you don't. And you still don't. And so we continue to be here and have these charades. To my colleagues who talk about lawful subpoenas, I appreciate the gentlelady from South Carolina who voted to hold people in contempt. Listen, I'll make this bipartisan. I'll vote for the Hunter contempt today. You can get my vote. You can get my vote. But I want you to show the American people that you're serious. Here is the subpoena to Representative Scott Perry, who did not comply. I'd like to enter this into the record. Here is the subpoena to Mark Meadows. I'd like to enter this into the record, who did not comply. Here is the subpoena to Jim Jordan, who did not comply with a lawful subpoena. I'd like to enter that into the record. Here is the subpoena to Mo Brooks, who did not comply. I'd like to enter that into the record. Here is the subpoena to Mr. Biggs, who did not comply. I'd like to enter that into the record. And here's the subpoena to Mr. McCarthy, who did not comply. I'd like to enter that into the record. There's an amendment coming to add some of those names into the contempt order. You vote to add those names and show the American people that we apply the law equally, not just when it's Democrats, right? It's a crime when it's Democrats, but when it's Trump and the Republicans, it's just fine. No, show that you're serious and that everyone is not above the law. Vote for that amendment, and I'll vote for the Hunter Biden contempt. I yield back.
Bro.
We need that kind of energy.
All day, every day.
That's
all
seeds,
day.
Man.
That's
there's nothing you can
there's
say.
Nothing you can say. And it just makes everything that, Nancy Mace and Margie and the rest of them, trying to say, it just makes them look that much dumber. It's like you guys want to hold liberals and Hunter Biden and Joe Biden and everybody else to these higher standards while you just sit there and turn the cheek when your own people do.
Well, it's just like how they are with the deficit. They're fiscally responsible when it's a Democrat in charge, but the moment that they're there, they're drunk sailors. Let's fucking go. Let's do this.
Deregulate through executive orders and have some fun.
Yeah.
So speaking of better representation in Congress, I just wanted to mention, I don't have his campaign ad up, unfortunately, but if you are online, go search out Harry Dunn, Dunn. He's one of the January 6th officers. He has announced that he is running for Congress. Is
that Maryland?
I believe so. Don't. I got to go back and check. I think so.
Yeah.
But no.
But this gives me hope,
dude.
This gives me hope.
He's not the only one too. I also want to mention Michael Fanone. I don't know. I didn't get a chance to look up if he's running as a Republican or Democrat or independent. I really don't care. Even if he is a Republican, to me, these are the kind of Republicans we need to get voted in. Right. The ones that actually give a shit about, the old school conservative ways instead of this new QAnon conservative agenda.
Well, the shaman, that QAnon shaman, he's trying to run for office.
In Arizona. He's running to, and again, in case you didn't know, Debbie Lesko, one of the other crazy representatives from Arizona, is retiring, and it is like a plus 22 district or something like that, meaning it's almost impossible for a Democrat to win, so much so that I think she ran unopposed the last two elections. And she's crazy. And people online just drag her all day, but she still wins elections. Right. It's crazy.
And that's what your girl Boebert's trying to do, is move into a district just like that in Colorado.
Yeah, exactly. The district Boebert's going to, I think, is a plus 21. So it's there's no Democratic swing that's gonna take her out. Maybe another Republican, because I think there's like 6 or 7 running. But
it just depends on if they want her crazy or if they want somebody crazier.
Yeah, well, who knows? Maybe there's somebody not so crazy that they can pick there. Who knows?
Hopefully, but with Dunn, it gives me hope that they're building a strong backbench, and I think that any type of team, any type of organization, you need to have a strong foundation and a strong backbench, and having new blood in the game that really kind of shows you people who are actual patriots to the real definition of defending not only the Capitol, but the people that were inside that Capitol to the very bitter end. I think that's really quite astonishing. He has a great story.
Yeah.
Really great story. Tragic. how it all had to unfold, but really great story.
Yeah, I like you said, and having a good story is a step up. You know, when you're running for office. So
100%.
he's gonna have a lot of support, and I think what's gonna make both of them strong candidates, both Harry Dunn and Michael Fanone, it will be that they're gonna get support from both sides. You know, and they're gonna have gonna have a lot of support within independents.
Well, I look forward to his competitors talking shit.
Yeah, good luck.
And seeing what kind of ads they put out.
Yeah, good luck.
I really do. You know what I mean? I really look forward to how that's going
to play
out.
You know, I mean,
he's not a patriot.
The dude was a cop, so chances are his record is probably decent. You know, I'm gonna go out there and say he probably doesn't have any kind of record.
He wants to defund the police.
Nope, probably not.
He's not a patriot.
Probably more so than you. Just throwing that out there.
He believes in critical race theory. Okay.
He's going to be very hard to beat. I think both of them will be very good candidates. I look forward to seeing their campaign progress. But the reason I'm telling you that is if you have a few extra dollars, go to their campaign website. You know, check it out for yourself. You know, make your own decisions, of course. But you know, if you have a few extra bucks, you wouldn't mind sending them. That'd be great too.
If it comes into fruition, he takes a seat. It's going to be an amazing story of how he defended it and then how he took a seat in it. And that to me brings me a lot of joy of what America is. Like,
I mean, it's a movie. It's a movie. It's a future movie.
It really is that. The house that he built. Like, he's like, I defended this and now here I am taking a seat in it. Like, that's
defending it in a totally different way.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And with that, speaking of police, so we've had a couple of swatting incidents.
Oh yeah.
Over the last several days, and I just want to go. So Judge Ingeron and who's the other one? Chuck Kin were both swatted.
That's the New York and the DC federal judges that are overseeing Trump's federal charge and also the January 6th charge.
Yep. So they both got swatted. Now this is
fraud charge. Sorry, fraud for Ingram. That's a New York fraud.
So this also happened to Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think she said over Christmas. I think it was. I just got to say, this swatting thing has gotten way out of fucking hand. You know, it was stupid. It was stupid in the beginning, but now it's being taken to a whole different level. You know, let's start with, for all you blue line folks, do you realize that you're wasting law enforcement resources by doing this? Do you realize that you're putting people at risk, innocent people? Because whether you're let's just use me for an example. If you were to swap me, you're not just putting me in danger. You're putting my 2 children in danger. You're putting my wife in danger. You know, so it's like, we can have arguments and disagreements online and stuff like that, politics, you know, and I may call you an asshole and you may call me a prick, and, you know, and that's fine, guys. That's what this whole online, you know, discourse is about. And I use names too, so I'm not sitting there saying that I'm above being called a name. But when you take it offline and you send law enforcement to somebody's house with the intent of them being, you know, worst case, they're going to be scared shitless. Best case, something's going to happen to them, and that's your intention by doing this. There's no other way to interpret it. There's no other context. You are sending police to people's houses with the hope that something's going to happen to them, and that makes you a horrible person. And I just have to end it by saying this is wrong across the board. I don't care if it's Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, Judge Ingeron, Hunter Biden. I don't care who it is. Doing this is stupid. Please stop.
Can we be on the same page and probably say that Marjorie Taylor Greene probably swatted herself because she's a fucking idiot?
You know, like, you know, of course, me being the liberal prick that I am, you know, that thought passed through my mind. But it.
No, you know, it's fucking tragic, and I think her story happened on like Christmas Day or something.
You know, again, nobody deserves to be swatted, and especially on fucking Christmas, man. Like,
they don't.
God, let everybody have a fucking day off. Jeez.
On any day, it's just like you can't really check out. Like, really, seriously, this is how we're doing.
Like I said, I have no love for Marjorie Taylor Greene, but that's just. I'll speak my voice online and use my platform, but I'm not gonna take that offline.
No, that's a very malicious person, and you know that like swatting was more of a terrible prankster back in the day. We're talking about a decade
Yeah.
ago, and I feel like it's
Do
like
you
those
remember
same
when,
fucking
you know what it
people-
was? It was it was gamers
It's
that
gamers.
were getting
Yeah.
into it in what's it called, in lobbies, and they
Yeah.
track them down and shit and fucking send the police. That's how
Yeah,
it started.
yes, and I feel like it's the same.
Thank you,
people,
gamers.
just now older. You know what I mean? Like they just aged. They just
Wow.
kept going with it. You know.
You're right. It's the
Yeah.
same pricks from 10 years ago. They're just still doing it.
Probably, because they don't know how to actually have a actual dialogue with somebody, or be challenged on their beliefs.
Yeah, that's the hard. That's the hard part. And even I struggle with it when somebody challenges me and they're right and I'm wrong. It's like, fuck. It's like I hate that.
Whose audio was messing
Mine.
up?
Shut up. Moving along. This is still my show until it says us up there. Fuck you.
I see it right. In red. That shit is in red. Where's it? It needs to be underlined.
Yeah.
Now. That's
Oh god. But no. So I just hope that we can stop these dangerous of instances that are
it's dangerous games.
Dangerous games. Yeah, and they're being played by I don't know who they're all being played. I'm not going to sit here and try to guess who's doing this shit. But whoever it is, stop. It's stupid. Yeah. It's dangerous, and more importantly, it's a waste of law enforcement resources and time, and it also puts them in danger. Because if you send them to somebody's house who's not anticipating them showing up, and they have guns in the house, they've got guns outside of the house, that's a bad recipe.
Oh yeah.
Rick Wilson got swatted too?
Yeah, it's quite dangerous, and that's even if they have the right address. Like keep that in mind. You send someone to the wrong address.
Wow. So somebody's saying Rick Wilson also got swatted. He pointed out that people get killed over this. Cops arrive with guns drawn. Rick came out with no gun and his hands up. See the breakdown. Wow. So this is happening to all. This is so dumb.
Yeah.
Just so dumb.
It is the worst waste of everybody's fucking time. Plain simple.
It's so many things. Like I said, it's a waste of time. It's dangerous. There's so many things. Like this is not. I think I don't remember where I was getting this from, but this is not a victimless crime. I think I got it from Jelly Roll, watching Jelly Roll's video. Talking about the drug dealers, and it's not a victimless crime. I think that's where I got this from. But yeah, this isn't a victimless crime. What you're doing, you know what I mean?
Right.
Every time I see Tim Pool, like I think it's actually Tim Pool, but some people act like him, and then they put the little rainbows just to piss people off. I like that. But no, everybody, we really appreciate you guys supporting us, especially after the technical difficulties earlier. We love having you guys with us. We enjoy our Fridays. For anybody that hasn't been watching us from the very beginning, Ian and I have known each other since, what was it? Probably
14.
Yeah, I think it was like my junior year. Would have been your
sophomore year.
Yeah. So so we've known each other for a long time, and I wouldn't we haven't kept in great touch over the years, but it was just we started talking, and we've always kind of had this cool vibe between us where we joke around and everything, and it just talking on the phone.
It'd be this on the phone call. It would literally be this.
And honestly better, because there's certain things we could say to each other off camera.
I feel like I'm being held back. No. I feel safe.
No, it's great. And I'm gonna plug him for a second, because one of the things when we were younger that we started kind of messing with was he went to school for, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it was music production, right?
Yeah.
And it was down in Florida, right? See, I remember all this shit.
You do remember all this shit.
But he went down there, learned how to become a music producer, and actually is pretty fucking good. And I was actually listening to something of his the other day, and I'm not going to tell you where I went, but I went to a fast food restaurant, and I'm driving up, and I listened to it, and the guy taking my order is like, "Who is that?" And I was like, "Oh," I was like, "It's my buddy Ian." I was like, "He produces music." He's like, "No, that's good. Tell him I said that's good." And when I texted him, I told him that I actually told the guy that I did it, but
I was like, all right.
But no, so it's really cool to be building this platform too, not just for me, but for him too, because I look forward to seeing more of the artistic side of what he'll bring, and when we're doing our we're rebranding our show now to be our show, and one of the things will be new music from him. So I really look forward to bringing that to the table for you guys, and just bringing something else to show you guys and share with you guys. So
I appreciate
yeah,
that. Yeah, this music's what brought me out to New York. That's why I've been out here this entire time. And it's funny because I have music like on movies and Netflix, and I created an album randomly back in 2015. It was a band
I
I
remember
created.
that. I remember that.
Yeah, the band was
Yep.
Selah, not spelled how it sounds. And but that's on Spotify. And what I'm actually doing right now is I'm working on music for a new film.
Nice.
And I didn't tell you this. So I've been doing a score. And the best part about it is I'm making all the music off my phone.
Like, dude, so when he sent me the new theme music to our show, like, I can't tell you how I have a subwoofer in my truck, and I can't tell you how hard it hits. And we're talking on the phone, and he's like, "Yeah, I did that in like 30 minutes on my phone." I was like, "What?" It's like, damn, I got to get on GarageBand.
I had a Rain Man moment where I just like tuned in.
Yeah, he texted me. He's like, "Man," he goes, "This is what happens when I get a few hours to just stop." It's funny, man, because the biggest killer of creativity is interruptions.
Yeah,
it really is.
Oh yeah.
You lock me in a room by myself for a day, I can come up with some creative shit. Let my kids knock on my door every 30 minutes, I'm fucked. Like, I might get a fraction of that done.
Yeah.
It's part of it. And the bad thing is, when you're in that creative zone, and I'm sure, music's the same way as like writing or doing anything else. It's like you're in that zone, and the minute you get pulled out of it, it's so hard to get back into it. Even if it was only 5 minutes, that you were
It's
pulled away.
True. I've carved out, I have the luxury right now where little man goes to bed at 7.
Yeah.
So like,
enjoy that, brother. Enjoy that.
Do this with I know. That's what I'm trying to get as much. I'm like,
better.
I'm trying to get as much done before I'm out. Like, it's like I already know how
Oh
that's
yeah.
gonna go. So I'm trying to get as much.
These kids
done
are
in
wearing me
2024.
out. Like, it's time for bed. It's only 10:30.
Yeah. My wife literally walked in. She's like, "My back hurts." I go, "I believe it. You carrying the weight of this family." And she just looked at me. She's like, "I appreciate you, but
Fuck
also
you."
fuck
Yeah.
you."
That's what Jen would say. Like, I appreciate that, but also, like, go fuck you. Go do the dishes or something. Shit.
Go do something. You got some shit.
I know you
got
guys
some
have
shit.
shit.
So that,
Speaking of, shout out to my wife too, because she actually handles so much so that I can build what I'm doing.
She's so dope. She's
so dope. So yeah, big shout out to her. I was telling her the other day, I said, I don't know if you realize this, but our daughter went to school up to like in-person school, I think up to kindergarten or first grade, but she's been in online ever since 2019, and so is Dominic. And so she has literally taught them how to read. She's taught them how to do math. She's taught them social studies. Like, she's taught them all of these things, and she's very like engaged. We're both more engaged now, but in the beginning it was all her. And I was like, babe, you've literally taught our kids how to read. Like, they don't just go to school. You teach these kids, along with they do it's a K-12 program, by the way. It's not like the old school homeschooling that we think of. Like, they have school every day. They get up, get on the computer. They have classmates. Like, it's very cool. Like, it's something that I'm like, man, I kind of wish I'd had this as a kid. My social anxiety and shit.
I love that side of technology. I think it's amazing.
It is. It's great.
It's
so
really...
we still struggle with it. I'm going to be honest. Like, we get to a point every year where we look at each other and we're like, should we send them back to in-person school? Like, are they really missing anything? And then I talk to friends and they're like, yeah, my 10-year-old is in therapy because they're getting bullied at school. And I go, yep, we're doing the right thing. Because I'm like, my kids don't have that shit. My kids are happy. They have a few friends. They have each other. Like, they're happy as shit. They don't get bullied. They don't, they get online, they get in their little things, but they've gotten so good now. Like, they play Roblox. And they'll be in there and somebody will start messing with them and they'll be like, well, that's not nice. Block, and they'll just keep going. And I'm like, perfect. Just, if they're being mean to you, just let it go. just move on.
It's interesting to me because I think about the thick skin we have from our experiences growing up and what that means.
Yeah.
But I know that's a different generation coming up, and they're going to have to be. They're going to be different. They're going to be different.
Well,
Plain and simple,
they
you
are,
know?
and it's like you said, we have a thicker skin in a different kind of way. I also
Right.
think in some ways they're going to need a thicker skin than we have, because I always say when we got bullied in
Yep.
school, I mean, I'm not going to talk about you, but when I got bullied in school, when I got home, there was a break. Like you got bullied while you were at school, but then you were home. There wasn't internet. There wasn't. There was instant messages.
We have the best of both.
Yeah.
We have the
So
best
it's
of both.
like we could get that break from the bullying, and the kids today, they don't get that break. It's
Right.
it's constant. It's on, and it's
Always.
online. It's there forever. And kids are not like, I get bullied on fucking Twitter with memes and shit, and but I'm at a point in my life I can laugh at it, like, because I'm comfortable in who I am. Our kids are not comfortable in who they are yet, and
I want to apologize for all those memes I make of you on my ghost account. by the way.
motherfucker, that the one of me and the Trump with the Trump 2024, I'm gonna kill you for that one. I'll have to say, yeah, somebody took the shirt that I did and they took my design out and they put the Trump 2024 on with me pointing to it. I was like, okay, that one's pretty good. I was like, that was pretty good.
Dope.
I'm like,
dope.
but
See, now that's fun.
and because
That's
to
fun.
me it's fun, because anybody that goes to my page, they're gonna go, oh, this guy is not a Trump supporter. But that's why I thought it was so funny. I was like, you guys can have that one. You guys can have that one.
Tasteful. That's all you can say. A good
Yeah,
meme.
it's good.
A good meme.
It's
mad at
going back to Elon Musk banned me from Twitter on Monday, so we'll talk about that. But before we forget, even though I couldn't get the video, I wanted to talk about Jelly Roll's testimony in Congress.
Powerful.
It's
really
very powerful, and like I said, I wish I could play it for you guys, but please, when you get
go
done,
on YouTube and
if
check
you have not seen this man's testimony in front of Congress, it is a 6-minute and 6-second video. It is not that long. Take the 5 minutes, 6 minutes, and listen to what he says, because it's something that not only every member of Senate and Congress needs to hear, but it's something every American needs to hear, because it's coming from a man who's lived on both sides of this. And I loved there was a part of it where he said, yeah, I've been a part of the problem, but here I am now as a man, a grown man, trying to be a part of the solution. And that was the part that really hit, because he's like, I'm here telling you how it is so that you can fix it, so that you can do something about it.
and not even just that, that we all
like
can, take this back home to your constituents, bring this to your community. Like, we need to work on this. He's like, I don't belong to a party. So I'm talking to you as,
he can't vote,
as a man who lived this life. Let's go. Let's do this. It's very powerful.
And I'm glad you said that, because he can't vote. I believe he's a felon. So he can't vote. And he mentions that, but he's like, even though he can't vote, he still has skin in the game. And that's what he was, I think, trying to tell everybody. And I like how he ended it is, the best thing that any of us can do is to take this conversation back to the kitchen table. And that was the other thing that he said that just, he really drove a couple of points home that will stick with me for years, probably forever. Like he said, what was the stat? Do you remember it off the top of your head? Why we're sitting here?
190. The number of
or in the 5 minutes that he'll be sitting there, somebody
190 people will die
from fentanyl.
Pretty much, 190 will die in a day, and it's the size of a plane. It says if a plane crashed every single day, the media would not sit on this story. So why is the media sitting on fentanyl right now? And he said that the secular family is going to look like saints compared to what this is. And just a lot of things. He said everything that really is.
He packed a lot into 6 minutes.
Yeah, he did. He really did. And the thing is, I love how he looks, because the way he articulated everything was masterfully. And you could just see all the senators, the congressmen, just sitting there and being like,
this tattooed, dude that you just would not expect.
Tatted up.
Tatted face up. Like, if you don't know who this gentleman, he's very tatted up. He's a music artist, and he says that in there too. He's like, look, I'm just a songwriter, but here's what I see, here's what I've experienced, and here's what's still going on, with my
man has stories.
He does, but I love how he talks about his fans. He's like, I see my fans in the concert struggling with this shit. He's like, you can see
Yeah.
it. You know, I see my fans dying from this. You know, it's not.
And you talk about OxyContin.
Yep.
He went from crack to OxyContin to fucking fentanyl. He put it all on
Yep.
the table.
So
And he just anyways, you gotta watch
yeah,
the clip. It's really good.
I mean, we gave you most of the points, but yeah, the way he delivered it was masterful. You know, and like Ian was saying, what makes it, I think, even more powerful is when you see this man, if you don't, he doesn't look like somebody who's going to be spitting facts like that and be able to,
Just
and
knowledge.
you know, I mean, he's a songwriter, so I guess it shouldn't be surprised that he's able to tell a story, but you know, he just, the way he told his story and the story of his fans and the people that he loves, it was just very powerful.
You know what it is? He humanized the addiction.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I think you cannot take away from him. Because you know, Hollywood paints what a drug addict looks like. Congress paints what a drug addict looks. He said, no, somebody in your family has died. Somebody you know closely has died from a drug.
Yep.
He goes, so let's just remove that stereotype of what a drug addict is. He goes, everyone has it statistically in their family, in their circle, and they have died from it. And I was just thinking about that because I just had a friend who died from a drug overdose, accidental drug overdose. I'm just like, it's there, man. It's really there.
Yeah.
And it's really fucking tragic because you wonder, like, did they just think they could just handle just a little extra? Was it fentanyl? What, you know, you don't.
Well, you know, like I think something to bring up too is it was very different from when you and I were kids. You know, when you and I were kids, you know, yeah, there was lace stuff, but it, you know, it wasn't like this fentanyl, man. This fentanyl is something different. And that's why I feel sorry for these, you know, kids today that are going out and they're like, oh, I'm just going to take a couple pills and, you know, I'll be fine. And it's like, those aren't just a couple pills. Those are something way stronger. And a lot of these kids are, you know, they're doing the same shit we used to do, man. You know, they're doing the same shit. And there's such powerful stuff out there that it makes the dumb decisions we used to make a deadly decision for these kids.
It's tragic to think, you know, that it's gonna, the ride ends too soon.
Yep. Ain't that the truth?
And that's what the thing. But please check out the clip. It's really, we're doing it.
Yeah, just type. You could put in jelly roll, and it sounds just like JELLY roll, and you could put hearing testimony.
And look for the 6-minute, 6-second clip.
It'll be there. He's only testified in front of Congress once, so it'll be there. So
let's do the happy note.
Well, real quick though, I just got to talk about Elon, just real quick.
Oh yeah. That's
so. Elon Musk banned me from Twitter, you know, Mr. Free Speech, banned me from Twitter Monday night while I was asleep. I woke up to my account being freshly restored. So I was left wondering what the hell had happened while I was asleep and had to go back and piece everything together. So what happened was Elon said, or well, let me rephrase. X banned me and I think it was 9 or 10 other, you know, far left accounts like Liam Neeson, which is a parody account but huge following. There was a couple of reporters I think in Texas and stuff like that. So I mean, it was some big name people that were banned. And when people saw that all these people were getting banned on the left, of course people that follow us were like, what the hell, started posting and it started going viral. And by the time I woke up, it was already going viral. So like, I'm literally watching this go viral as it's happening, but he banned us overnight. What the really interesting / disheartening / I'm just very conflicted on this. The person that was actually responsible for getting our accounts back is a very right-wing Trump MAGA conspiracy theorist, I might even say white nationalist account with about 2.7 million followers. What interested me is that out of all of the people, and there was a ton, like I'm not exaggerating, we're in news articles, this was a big deal. Out of all the people that were supporting us and saying, hey, where's Ryan? Where's Liam? Where are all these people at? Why are they getting banned and nobody else is getting banned? The person that got Elon Musk's attention was a white white supremacist right-wing conspiracy theory page, and I'm not going to say the dude's name, but this dude put on there basically like, why are you banning these accounts? Like, I thought this was free speech. So like he kind of stood up for us and used his platform to, be like, hey, right is right here. And Elon directly responded to that.
Did you say right is white?
Yeah. Well, I got nothing else to say to that. But so Elon, basically what he ended up saying is that their spam algorithm ended up banning our accounts, and everybody was like, so that spam algorithm only happened to ban 11 far left leaning creators, none of the right wing people who say far much crazier shit. Just happened to be us.
I find that so interesting.
Dude, I'm like, is this, as it was happening, I was like, is this really happening right now? Like, did Elon Musk really just fucking ban like 9 of us and nobody else? Like, I'm like sitting.
The answer
is yes, but I'm literally sitting there thinking to myself.
And you say, wait, it happened at what time in the morning?
I don't know what I don't know what time it was banned, because they never sent me an email saying it was banned. They sent me an email saying that I was dropped out of the monetization program, and then I got another email saying I was put back in the monetization program, and then I got another email saying that they had restored my account. Sorry for the mistake, but I never got anything saying it was suspended.
Because he's notorious for being on in like the middle of the night randomly.
Yeah, that happens when you're freaking snorting ketamine or whatever the fuck he's doing.
I you know what? I don't want to be canceled, so I'm gonna tell you right now.
Don't worry, it's my show. They'll cancel me. It's okay.
Start a new show. So
there you go. We'll blow it up now.
It's so good.
But no, it's just really interesting, considering, he pushes the free speech. Everybody should have a say,
but we know he doesn't have that, and he lost that. I was actually listening to something about him, some special on him about when he started making this turn to going more far right, and it was during the lockdown. It was during 2020, height of the pandemic. How he felt that he was being pressured by the state of California and with Tesla. And he started becoming more and more conspiracy theorist and leaning into everything that then, of course, why he moved to Texas. And it only exacerbated a lot of that weird kind of isolation that he had going on, that then also sparked a lot of these crazy ideas. But I mean, the fact that he literally ran Twitter into the ground, and how much he bought it for versus what it's worth now,
fraction,
just goes to show you how bad this whole thing is. I mean, I told you I got rid of my account a long time ago. I was like, fuck this thing. I don't need it. And I get it when you're into this world and everything.
Well, again, I keep telling folks, the minute I start getting quoted from my other social media where I have a decent following, I'll stop using Twitter. Problem is every time I'm quoted in the news, it's coming from Twitter. It's coming from X. Yeah. So, whether we want to realize it or not, X still is very powerful in the social media circles, and
it's more mainstream.
It is, and it's going to be a focal point in the 2024 election. So it's actually kind of disheartening to me to see so many liberals and left-wing accounts being like, well, we're just going to go to Threads and screw Elon. It's like, great. So you're just going to let them have this platform to spread all of the bullshit with no pushback going into the election. That does not sound like a good idea to me.
It's where the party's at. I mean, if the party sucks and you leave that party,
but this ain't just a party, bro. This is, you know what I mean?
If you go down the block and you set up a new shop and you start doing your thing, people are going to start coming to that. So I mean, like, what that is, I'm not knocking what X was. But what it is now is a cesspool of bullshit.
Yeah, I'm not.
And you have to admit how toxic.
Oh, it's toxic as shit.
And so when you're like, I don't want to be around it. Like when you look at the amount of racial shit that popped up 400% within the 3 weeks of it becoming under Elon's tutelage, it's insane to think about.
Yeah. Which is why him banning us just makes it so much more insane.
you know, and I'm just like, I personally was just like, I'm good. I'm good. I don't need to be around any of it. I don't need it in my diet. You know, when I look at what your diet is and how you're living a healthy life, it's not just about food you put in your body. It's what you're seeing. It's what you're listening to. It's what you're like literally putting your body around physically, what you're touching, what you're experiencing. And for me, my diet, I'm not even interested in what the fuck Twitter X has to offer anybody.
Yeah.
For me,
No, that's fair.
you know, I love what you post. I love the things that's going on. I get a chance to check in and see. You know, my addiction is IG. Like I think any millennial, that's what we go to. That's our source.
Dude, it's hard to build a following there. Like, it's just.
Oh yeah, because it's fucking ADD heaven. Are you serious? It's nothing but just swiping whichever.
Yeah, and I don't think I post enough on there, and I don't know.
Oh, you have to be insanely like every 5 seconds.
I'm like, no, I'm good. I like putting my words down on, like, you know, figuratively on paper. You know, like typing it out, being able to read it. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's just the millennial in me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the elder. I'm the elder millennial.
The elder. Gandalf the Grey.
So I'm gonna hand it to you for the positive thing, but before we go, I just want to say one more time: if you have the time, please go watch that Jelly Roll testimony. It is so worth the 6 minutes, and share. And I guarantee you will probably end up sharing it with somebody that you know. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, it's necessary. Yep. So, you know, great show, number 2. I think this is fantastic in general. And I really do look forward to what we have coming next. Yeah. But I am going to miss being able to point up to right here. It's probably one of my favorite poses and one of my favorite things that I can do.
You're going to miss not being able to be canceled is what you're going to miss.
So, you know, my plan, I was working with your wife on this. She told me do anything I can to get this canceled. All right, so so that's what I've been working.
She wants her Friday nights back, is what it is.
She wants. That's what it is. So, but what I did over vacation, I didn't leave New York, so I got to really enjoy New York during vacation time, and I used that time to get a me day from the family, from the little one. So a me day is, you know, wife has a kid, you go have a good time, whatever. So I went out to the movies and I went and saw Godzilla -1. And I have to say to you, so do you know anything about this movie?
I know nothing of it.
Okay, so you know Godzilla's been this movie that Americans are accustomed to, that have all the American cast and all that stuff. Well, Godzilla -1 is a soft reboot from the original Godzilla, created by the original house from Japan that created Godzilla. So this was Japan's rebuttal to all the American.
Like, ha, you guys suck. Watch this.
Oh man! Here's what I have to say. I really enjoyed about it. It was a breath of fresh air, and nostalgic at the same time, because it was a period piece. It took place in Japan, 1946. So like you're dealing with like Tokyo just demolished, and the story is a redemption story of a kamikaze pilot.
Okay.
And then you add a big fucking lizard in it, and you're just like, what the fuck? It's a beautiful story. It's in Japanese, subtitles. It felt not only like an art film, but it felt like seeing the big guy, big girl on screen again, and how they could implement new and fresh ideas with old technology, which it makes it terrifying. When you see how like helpless we were in a way, because you know now you can have a laser gun or whatever, you know, and satellites and all this other bullshit, and how you can pinpoint and attack submarines that were whatever state of the art. Here you're in a little fucking tugboat and it feels like Jaws. You know what I mean? Like it's like one of those things. So the risk versus reward was just it was really impactful. And then of course the music. Me being a huge fan of the original score. They just know when to implement, and you're like, you hear that music and you're like,
here it comes.
Here it is. Not even here it comes. Everybody's got to get it. It's just like, here we go. You know, so I give it and this is another thing. It made like $77 million within 3 days.
Wow.
So it's the first time that a Godzilla film from Japan is making massive waves, no pun intended, but massive waves here in America. And it's amazing to me that this film deserves it. It deserves a watch at the movie theater because that's the only way you can see Godzilla is on the big screen. That's why it was created, you know. And it's a really good story, start to finish, and then you just add, like I said, this Titan in the middle of it, and so it's like wow, you know. So they humanized a lot of it, but at heart of it's a redemption story.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's my my good feel. Check out Godzilla -1.
There you go. Check that out. So mine, because we haven't been on since Christmas, so we had Christmas at our house this year, which was actually the second year in a row that we've done it. Last year was a little hectic because you know we weren't really used to doing it, and you know we were cooking turkey, and it didn't want to go in the oven because our oven was small and the turkey was too big. Like it was just hack that top off and cook it. Yeah, it's one of those. But this went much smoother. We had a great time. Jen made her stuffing that I love that she makes for me twice a year. But more importantly, you know, one of the reasons we moved back here to Arizona was to be close to her family. You know, we wanted the kids to have, you know, what I didn't really have growing up. And, you know, so this Christmas just really reminded me of how great it is that they have this family unit that we've been able to create, and but also that they've accepted me into their family and treat me well. And, you know, it's just really nice to have around the holidays because it's something I didn't always have, you know, when I was a kid. So it's nice watching my kids be able to, you know, interact and have those things and, you know, build these memories that I know they'll stick with. So, yeah. It was good, man. We had a great time. I needed some family time, and we took my brother-in-law came in from Texas, so yeah, it was a good time. We had a really good time.
Food for your soul.
It was, man. It was, you know, it was like soul cleansing by the time it was all over, you know. And you know, sometimes I think when you get done with Christmas, like, oh man, thank God Christmas is over, and you know that.
Yeah, need a vacation from the vacation.
But that night, man, we were sitting down on the couch and looking at the Christmas tree, and I was like, man, I really wish, you know, that this didn't have to stop.
Yeah. We had the same kind of vibe. You know, we leapfrog.
I love trolls. This dude come in. He's like, 7 people now, 6 on the show. That sucks. It's only showing you the people that's watching on Instagram, douchebag. Have fun. I'm going to come talk shit when I don't know what the real analytics are.
We salute you.
There you go, dumb fuck.
What are you doing on your Friday night? That.
Yeah, that.
It's like, so yeah.
Yeah, you're trolling me. You're watching me. So please.
Yeah. How do I look?
Exactly. How do my 35 million impressions on Twitter a month look? Elon knows my fucking name. I can guarantee you that shit. You better Google me, bitch.
You ain't gotta go so ham on somebody on a Friday night like that.
See, now that's how you end the fucking show right there. You better Google me, bitch. Oh shit. But no, seriously, for everybody that did stick around, I'm sorry again for the technical difficulties. That was definitely my fault. I think we got him figured out this time. I won't make that mistake again. So,
but I bought a mic.
He bought a mic after I shamed him into it.
I was like, okay. Live on air, buy a mic.
Live on air. But no, so yeah, again, sorry about that. But thank you for hanging out with us on a Friday night. We sincerely love you guys. Even the haters, we love you too. You know, hey, gotta have the haters too. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Hey man, if it wasn't for the haters, I wouldn't feel this good.
I'm telling you, I make money off the haters, so keep hating.
Oh my God.
But I will leave you as I always do with much love. Keep fighting. We're looking forward to what Ian and I have coming for you guys. So, you know, we're going to stick under this name until we get everything the way we want it. We're taking our time. So you just have to deal with the Shead Show in the meantime. So we'll see you guys next week. Love you guys.